Hey guys, Constance here from Cosmopolitan Cornbread. So you're going to notice over the next couple of videos that I am wearing the same clothes. That's because I'm going to be filming several videos, or 2 or 3 videos today, so that I can get some content scheduled for all of you, because as I mentioned, I'm going to be going out of town, and where I'm going to be, there's not much of a cell phone signal and there is no internet, so I'm not going to be able to be editing and uploading videos. So I've been working hard today to create some videos, some content for all of you so that you are not missing out on anything. So what I wanted to share with you right now though is I mentioned in my previous video that I did a little bit of antiquing over the weekend and that I had found just a couple of things. Well, I wanted to show you what I got on my antiquing expedition, and then I want to show you another antique that's kind of special. First of all, I love old linens and old handmade things, and I've been looking for something to put on my kitchen table, and I came across this beautiful crocheted doily table runner. And so this was the first thing that I got. It was in perfect condition, and so I knew I had to grab that. I thought it was the perfect thing for my table, this lovely runner. Now, of course, you know that I love milk glass, like that hobnail milk glass vase that you just saw sitting there on the kitchen table in my centerpiece sort of arrangement. Well, I happened to find 2 milk glass things at the antique store over the weekend, and one of them, I've never seen one quite like it because it was so tiny and dainty, but let me show you this. A little tiny milk glass lantern. Look at that. It's still got the wick in there and everything. I just fell in love with that. Look how small it is. It's just a little baby one. So like I said, it has the wick inside and everything, but I don't know that I would actually use it as a lamp, just because it's so tiny and delicate and old. I'd be afraid I would damage it in some ways. So I suppose it has the ability to be used, but it'll probably just be sitting there on my shelf there over the kitchen sink. It's kind of the perfect size to put a light in the window though, isn't it? It just kind of, it would fit there perfect on the windowsill. But yeah, I don't imagine myself ever using it unless it's some sort of necessity situation. Now, the other thing that I got is a little bit bigger, and I've never seen one of these quite like this. And when I first saw it, I thought the bottom part of it was actually plastic until I touched it and I realized it was actually milk glass. Now, I am going to make a modification to it, but let me show you what I got. So right back there in the corner, I think you can probably see it. Now, the other day when I shared a video clip of my newly organized and rearranged office, I had a wind chime of sorts hanging over there in the corner. When I went to the antique store, I found this old antique scale, and the bowl that it has hanging here is actually made out of milk glass. Now, I don't know if this is original. It kind of seems odd to me for there to be a bowl like this, but I loved it. And whether this was a thing that was done by somebody later on, maybe they drilled the holes in this bowl and made it into a basket, I don't know. But I loved the look, and I thought this was the perfect thing to hold a plant over here in the corner. Now, I thought that the rope actually kind of gave it a pretty neat look, But I think what I will do is actually replace the rope that is attached between the bowl and the hook with some actual pieces of chain. I've got some smaller chain. I would just need to get some hooks so that I could use that to attach them together. And while the scale isn't functioning or anything like that, I just really love the look of it, and I just thought it was kind of the perfect touch for the corner of my office. And like I said, I thought it was just kind of the perfect thing to hold a plant over there in the corner, and I just thought it looked kind of neat. So then the other antique that I wanted to talk about was this clock back here behind me. Now I love antiques of all sorts, but that one's actually a little bit special. That clock belonged to Mr. Smith's family, and that clock has been in his house growing up his entire life, as long as he could remember. He was like, it was always there. And he brought it back with him from Tennessee a few weeks ago, and it isn't running. However, we don't know if it doesn't run. Now, Mr. Smith went online and did a little bit of research about this clock and discovered that it's somewhere from around the 1900s or so, and it was made in Germany, and just found out some information about it. Now, we would love to see if it runs, but unfortunately there's no key for it, and he doesn't remember it ever running growing up. So now his parents were over in Germany when he was a baby, just like mine were, and he thinks that's where they got it from, since it is a German clock. But I think when they got it, maybe they just never got a key for it. Well, I went online and I actually found a universal clock key. It actually looks kind of like spokes, and so it has keys of all different sizes to fit all different clocks. So that'll be coming in the mail in a few days, and so when we get it, we will very, very carefully wind that clock just a little bit and see if by any chance it works. Clock repair people are few and far between nowadays, and I don't even know if it doesn't work. I don't know how easily we could find a person to fix it. But when we checked everything out, we moved everything, it looks like it wants to go. Like, nothing seems to be frozen. So hopefully when we get that clock key, maybe we'll get a good surprise. And while I'm thinking about it, I actually do have one other little thing to show you. This was a surprise that came in the mail. I love going to my P.O. box and finding things from all of you, which, by the way, all of you who sent cards over the holidays, who sent sympathy cards over the passing of my mother-in-law, those who sent get well cards when I was very ill, I just want to say thank you to all of you. I did not have the energy for quite a while to be able to sit down and write back or to send out any sort of cards this year. I just was utterly exhausted, as you can imagine, but I didn't want it to go without mentioning and to say thank you to all of you who sent those. They really meant a great deal to both I and Mr. Smith to receive those. And so then, speaking of mail, I love getting surprises from all of you guys. Every so often I will go to the post office and just find something unexpected, and this is one of those things. I had someone send me, again, you know I love milk glass, and I'm kind of partial to the hobnail for some reason. I just love it. Well, I had someone send me this. This little hobnail milk glass set. I went ahead and I looked online, and it looks to be a condiment set. And so what I did, because I didn't really want to use it for condiments, I put tea lights in there. And so I've got my scented tea lights. And so I use it as a tea light holder, and when I am in the mood for it, I light those up, and they have that beautiful glow from the candle that just kind of shines through the milk glass. And so while I don't use it for condiments, I thought that was the perfect thing to use that little set for. And actually, the vase that I have in there on my kitchen table in my centerpiece arrangement, that is actually what I use that for. I put a candle in there and it just has a nice warm glow that shines through the glass. That is it. I just wanted to share the antiques that I got and talk about Mr. Smith's clock and the lovely gift that came in the mail. So y'all know how much I love antiques. It is a rare instance that I can walk into an antique shop and not come out with something, but I do my best to make sure that I only get things that really speak to me, that I absolutely love, like that scale back there. I love things that are kind of unusual and look like they could tell you a story. Like I said, there will be a couple more videos coming up where I'm wearing the same outfit because I'm going to be on the road. So that is it for today. Thanks for joining me here again at the homestead. Until next time, love and blessings.